Hello there, Adam Bazalgette here, founder of Scratch Golf Academy. I'm at Mediterra in Naples, Florida. Today, how to practice golf, 3 ways to improve. I'll give you 3 categories that you definitely should be doing. The exact mixture is up to you. We'll get into those as we go. And this is primarily full swing, but you could extend it to some parts of the short game. That's a 7-iron shot for me. So the first type of practice, and really I think the one you should be doing the most of, is what we call block practice. What does that mean? It just basically means repetition of things, likely something in your swing. That would be what you'd be practicing. And this is critical because ultimately when you get on the golf course, if you can make solid contact and you can keep the ball reasonably straight, you're going to play fairly well. So good technique really works this in, assuming you've had some decent instruction from someone. And I would probably encourage many golfers to use an alignment aid, just because we don't want to get sloppy with our alignment, but we want to have relative brevity between shots, relatively, so that we can get some reps in there. Now, we've got 4 ideas that will help you in your block practice, but let's tackle those at the end of the video. Let's look at our other 2 categories first. Our next category is trying to simulate what it feels like on the golf course. That is to say, going through your pre-shot routine. In this case, I would never hit more than 3 balls in a row with a single club, and never any 2 balls in a row to a single target. So I've got a 7-iron here, have my hybrid out, my sand wedge right over there in the bag. So I would maybe go for this flag, go through my routine, try to get nice and set, make it feel like I'm on the golf course and hit my shot. The same again, maybe another 7-iron to a different target, etc. Then out comes another club. A little bit slower, but it allows you to really simulate on-course practice. Couple of quick thoughts here. You want to not only pick out a target, but you want to imagine some sort of hazard there possibly. Play for the wind. In this case, the wind's a little from the left, so if I'm picking that white flag over there, I'm picturing a medium-sized green with some water on the right, for instance. So can I, in a real, or at least a pretend real situation, kind of play for that, get myself set up to keep it a little bit left, and really try to get the ball under control, not necessarily next the hole, but shaping it in the way I would with relative hazards on the golf course. The other thing, this is a tip I learned from Bob Lohr. You may remember LOHR, his name, played the tour for a long time, won the Disney Classic once. He's a friend of mine. We used to work together at Leadbetter, and he told me that sometimes when he's practicing, he would put 6 balls, I think it was, I forget the exact number, but roughly 6 aside, several piles of it. So every 5 or 10 minutes of block practice, he'd say, okay, time for 6 of the type of practice I'm describing. He'd do a few of those, and he felt like those little vitamins, if you like, of 6 balls here and there would keep him in his routine and keep him going. Okay, let's check out number 3. Okay, the next type of practice we're talking about, just fooling around type of practice. What do I mean by that? Trying to do different things with the golf club and the ball that you wouldn't normally do. And I'm not suggesting this is a huge part of your practice, but a little bit of it regularly is a great idea. As my coaching buddy Andrew Rice told me one day, he said, this is one lesson you never have to teach to a group of teenage boys. They're always horsing around trying to outdo each other at things. So could be how big a slice can you hit? How much of a hook can you hit? How low can you hit it? These types of things. And I would take it a step further than that. Can I top the ball? Yeah, I topped that just fine. That shows feel, it shows skill level. It could be, could I hit the ball off the toe? Could I line up straight and hit it off the toe, maybe off one leg, these sorts of things. Just mixing it up once in a while for fun. You'd be surprised, it is fun, number 1. But you would be surprised, let's try one off just the lead foot. I'll barely balance this one. Not too bad. Didn't feel super stable. Just mixing it around builds skill, builds awareness for your balance, the club location, how to work the club face, etc. A little bit of this goes a long way. Well, there's a decent shot for me. I'll take that one. Okay, 4 categories. What are these things that are going to make your block practice more effective? And I'm going to save my all-time most important one for number 4, not just to keep you hanging. Number 1, scale things. I watch people practice all day long. I've been around this game decades, teaching it full-time, playing, etc. And it is comparatively rare for me to see anyone do, once they've warmed up, anything other than full speed, full swing. Could be a different club or whatever. That makes it very difficult. Do some shots. How about one in virtual slow motion? I mean, I hit that, actually hit that solidly, hit it maybe 60 yards. Smaller impact, hard to work on impact. Do it on a small scale. These sorts of scale it up and down, both in size and speed. You will really help yourself. Sometimes, of course, you will be going at full speed. Next thing I would do, I was use teaching aids with some caution. Let's assume you know what you're working on here again. These aren't just random haphazard things, but something physical that will help you feel things. So let me put the hybrid head cover right there. This might be an instance where if I get a bit steep, I hit the head cover, this sort of a thing. Perhaps more critical to my particular tendencies, putting an alignment rod over the ball there. I tend to get too far behind the ball. I can immediately tell because of the nature of how the rod looks over the ball if I'm doing that. So kind of physical barriers, physical things are important. The next thing you got to do, number 3, you have to, in addition to scaling it and using objects, you have to overdo it sometimes. So let's say me, tend to get this way, I'm going to hit a shot and get too far in front of it and feel what that feels like. Things like that. Swing path, squaring the face, opening the face. Do too much of something sometimes on purpose. Your progress will rapidly outdo that of the person that's always trying to do it perfectly neutral. And number 4, and again I think the single most important one, it's the one that's made the most difference to me in my game, and I know it's not peculiar to me, and that is develop more awareness. People are so lacking in this area. I film people all the time because I give golf lessons all the time. They'll make a swing, let's say it's weight distribution or some such, and when you look at the image 5 seconds after the shot, it's not even close to what they thought they did. And you think, well, I'm in this body, how come I have no sense of where I'm at when I'm swinging? And the reason is you don't have any awareness, and the reason for that, you're thinking so much, there's so much going on in your head. This swing only takes 1.5, 2 seconds. Then you get the stimulus of the outcome is either good or bad. So much going on, we don't feel anything. So you have to get away from the golf course, map something in front of the mirror, and then when you get out there at times, think of nothing and just experience what is actually happening in a critical area of your swing. You may have to do it slower, and it may not be perfectly true feedback. You may still be deceived, but once you start to feel movements in your swing, even if you don't like them, you will see rapid progress. So I hope these 4 ideas help you. Get out there and practice and enjoy yourself. You can apply these really indoors as well. Thanks.